This is Amy M. Burns from amymburns.com and author of the publication Using Technology with Elementary Music Approaches, published by Oxford University Press and available from Oxford and Amazon today. Welcome back if you're coming back from a summer break into our new school year. This is going to be our final episode of the Pandemic LMUZ Tech episodes that I was doing all summer. This was the best of the Pandemic LMUZ Tech. This is going to be episode 7, and it will be our final one now that I'm coming back into the school year. Expect every Sunday on YouTube for me to be either putting up an episode of something I'm doing in my classroom or a tech tip that you can use. All of these can be found in the book, so I encourage you to check out the book because it's really meant to be helpful, especially if you're using a Kodai approach or Schulerk, Dr. Feyerabend's first steps, or jumping into project-based learning. Please remember to like and subscribe to this channel. So this is the Best of Pandemic LMUZ Tech episode 7, and episode 7 features an item that has been around for a long time, and these, what I'm talking about, are play-along videos. Yes, play-along videos. But many of us really jumped into exploring them and using them when we had to teach either concurrent, or we had to teach asynchronous, or we had to teach remotely. So there's a lot of benefits for using play-along videos. The reasons that I tend to use them and they work so well is because you can find numerous ones. As I show you on the screen here, these are some really great channels of play-along videos. And you can really do a lot with them. You can also create your own using tools such as Canva, because when you use Canva, like this, you can actually create the play-along body percussion as you see here, or the rhythm play-along ones, because what you can do is you can create them so that they go along with the curriculum you're teaching, as opposed to finding someone else's and having to teach to theirs. So these ones that are body percussion and rhythm play-alongs, you can use them in so many different ways. They really work wonderfully for a pandemic setting because the rhythm play-alongs can be played on desks or furniture or using virtual instruments. The body percussion can be done in groups, but it also can be done individualized at a desk. So these videos became very good for us when we were teaching with so many restrictions. Just to show you some of my favorite, this is Elementary Groove Tracks, and this is Cameron's. He has monthly videos he puts up there for free, and then you can pay to get more videos and videos that have more complicated rhythms. If you're teaching ukulele, Ukuleleans is really great. I used it this summer. My students loved it. Also, Uke Play-Alongs. These are great because the students really can learn one chord, and even though there might be 4 chords, it's a great way to start. They can play every time that one chord comes up, and then they get really into it and they'll start learning and be motivated to learn more chords. Abby Watson does some wonderful play-along videos, whether it's a teaching concept or a drum circle or a rhythm play-along or body movements. Abby is fabulous. And if you don't know who her father is, it's Dr. Scott Watson, good friend of mine. Did a lot of music tech classes that he taught. I was always in. He was such a great teacher. Plus, he's a band composer, so check out his compositions. Missy does some really good ones. This is mostly her family's channel, but there's 2 Move It videos here that are fabulous. One goes to Star Wars, and the other one is it goes to Trombone Shorty, so it's really quite good. Jennifer Wentworth, I love The Lovely Day and the Sir Duke. The Sir Duke was one of my students' favorites, and as you can tell, it's many people's favorites as it has 128,000 views to it. This one is Irene, and Irene does some really great body percussions. I did a lot of the Under the Sea ones and the summer ones she had. But look, she has a Ghostbusters one right here that you could use next month. This one, Musication, right? I think this was the first one that I jumped into was Musication. And of course, I had the best Boomwhacker play-along videos ever. Don't forget about Mr. Henry's Music World. I found out about Mr. Henry through Katie Wardrobe's Midnight Music site, but this has everything and then some. And of course, one of my ultimate favorites is Visual Musical Minds. And Nathan does this great job with these. And these really do follow a lot of different methodologies and approaches. So good. And along with the recorder videos. And then he has the everything file that I have on my blog that accompanies this video, so that you can actually take a lot of the manipulatives that he uses and create your own videos with them. This is fabulous. And don't forget the video creation course that Katie ran earlier this year in 2021, because this really covers everything in the course. It covers how to make play-along videos, step-by-step process. I'm just giving you an episode of it. She gives you a whole course of it. And then she touches onto virtual choruses and other items like that. So creating your own play-along video has a few different ways. What I always start with is I start with the goal. So what's your goal in your play-along video? Like for me, when I was starting with a goal, for example, when I was starting with a goal here in this one, let me just bring that up so you can see it. In the opening and right before a break play-along body percussion video, the goal here was 30-second snippet songs that they would recognize, my students would recognize, and just getting them to move on the first day of school or right before a break. Just a really fun thing, like you just finished up your performance and now they're coming to music class the next day, and the class ends 10 minutes before you have a break, like the winter break. This is a great thing to put on. So these are like right before a break, and my goal here was just to do retrieval practice in body movements of half note, quarter rest, quarter note, and eighth notes. Then choose the music. So I told you these are 30-second snippets of really fun songs. And if you look in the description, if you open the description, it comes in over here. It's going to tell you it's We Will Rock You, YMCA, Celebration, High Hopes, and We Are the Champions. Once you have created it, then you want to create your patterns. So when I was creating my patterns of body percussion or the rhythms or the notes, I need some graphics to do that. So I go into Canva. If you follow me, you know I am a huge advocate of Canva. And the educator's version is absolutely free and gives you so many different images. When I went to make notes, I go back to Midnight Music because there's this free notation file that Katie's made for you with transparent backgrounds. And it's really quite good. Now the body ones here, you have to be a member of her Midnight Music. But the notation she provides you not being a member for free because she's just that wonderful. And she is. And she's so good. I would highly encourage you to be a member. Check it out. Try her free trial or it's not free trial, sorry, Katie. I think she does a $1 trial for 14 days. But try it for a month. I mean, just pay for a month subscription and do it so you can take the course in the video creation and you'll love it. You'll continue subscribing because it is that good to be a member of her community. So I create these slides. I love creating them in Canva. They look amazing in Canva, and I am so artistically challenged. It's the best thing ever. I go and download them. When I download them, I tend to download them as PNG files so that they're a higher image, and they'll come down individual files as a zip file. Then I'm going to use probably Keynote because Keynote, I just know it so well and it works so well for me. So in Keynote, what I would do is in the document here, I would add the audio file of these 30-second snippets. Now, if you're wondering how did I make a 30-second snippet, I use Soundtrap and just edit it. So Soundtrap, very much like GarageBand, very much like BandLab. What I just did was take those little snippets, put them on a track, and edit them down to 30 seconds. Fade them in and out so that they go nicely into each other. And what I mean by fading in and out is they will overlap the sound files. And then, as you can see, I just move these little faders so that when you listen to it, it fades into the other one, which is nice. So I have that file. I go into Keynote. I put that file right here. That's in Documents. Let me see so you can see this a little bit better. There you go. Documents, Audio. Put the opening playlist in. Then I made the boxes. So let's look at the boxes. I like to use the boxes. Katie suggests the boxes. I think they work really well in Keynote. Keynote is based in Mac only. I will show you PowerPoint in a moment because if you don't have a Mac, this is like, what can you do with this? So, but I do love how they animate in Keynote. So you take the box, and if you look here, if I go into the animations, what I'm doing is going into actions. So I created a box using the shape tool, grabbed it, resized it, went over here into the format, said no fill, and then went to the border, said yes, and made that border nice and thick. And it's a line border, and that's how I did that. So I made the border. That looks nice. Now I want to animate it. Again, you go into the animations, and it's action, and you're not building in, you're not building out. You're going to add an effect. The effect is move. It automatically shows you it moves. I love this because all you have to do is just move it a little bit to turn it back just a little bit, and then take the duration and bring it back to 0.2 seconds. Then it moves, and you're going to be moving it. I aligned to the path, and this is on the click. So it's going to do this by click. Then when I want to do it again, all I have to do is add the action, hit move, and just line it up where I want it to go, bring it back to about 0.2 seconds, and align it. And then it works. That means every time that I go to click this, it will work. So just to even show you what that means, when I show you the actions, it's just moving across the screen like that. So when I hit play, it's going to automatically start playing the music. I hit the space bar or the down arrow key, that's what I like to use, and I move it with the music. And I would just record myself using Loom. That's what I'm using right now to record. Loom has a free version, and it has 45 minutes for educators to record a video. You can use Screencastify, Screencast-O-Matic. It's totally up to you. So I like to use Keynote, but that's only for Mac only. So let's bring in PowerPoint, which is a little bit more universal. With PowerPoint, it's a little bit more complex. Now, if you love PowerPoint and you use it more often, what I'm showing you, you might look at it and go, oh, you know what? You can do that with just 4 steps, not the 9 steps you're showing. So I do want to say, or 8 it's showing there, I do want to say maybe this could be done better than what I'm showing. I'm also using PowerPoint on a Mac, which I know is limiting. Using a PowerPoint on PC, you probably have a lot more you can do, because when I was researching this, there were things I was being shown that aren't available on a Mac's PowerPoint. So again, it's really taking it, making that box using the insert and the shapes tool, putting the shape in there like so. Oh, that's a nice shape. That wasn't the shape I was looking for, but that is okay. Go into the fill and have no fill, and then of course go in here and have the weight be really thick. That's an interesting box. I probably wasn't going to do that. But anyways, there's the box. Now to make the box animate here, you would go into the animations, and it's a path. So I draw the path to where I want it to go, about there, and then it's going to move. It's too slow. So again, on the duration up here, you can move that better. And there you go. You can kind of see the preview of that and what that would look like. And again, doing it on the click. So there's things you can do on the timing on that, again, down here. And I tend to not, I only use clicks, and then when it slips to the next slide, it's already set up for the first beat, so I'll click it to the second beat instead of clicking it to bring it on the screen. I have it already there, because especially when the tempos are fast. But this one, when you move it from one place to the next, I then had to exit it and make it disappear, then bring in another one, copy and paste, bring that one here and make it up here. And then, of course, move that up here above it, so that when you do this, and of course that would do it as you clicking it, that way it doesn't move on top and overlap it. It moves, disappears, this one comes up right after. So that one you probably would tack together. And again, that's a lot of steps. So go to my blog to kind of read a little bit more about this. I did have a YouTube episode back in November about this with a lot more steps. This is just a review coming back from our pandemic episodes here, best of the pandemic. So as you can see, that's what we made. That's what I made. 2 of these. And then with the rhythm one, because that's a body one, with the rhythm percussion play along, I created 2 activities, one for Seesaw, so that they will be recording themselves. So you could do this for retrieval practice. And it has the slides. I'll show you. It has the slides, and they will be using the microphone tool and recording themselves. And then the final one they just get to do for fun and then submit it. So it's great retrieval or assessment to see if they have these rhythm patterns down. Are they performing them correctly? In Google Slides, if you want to put this on Google Classroom, take the forced copy I gave you, use a Google assignment, use Google Classroom and create assignment, so it will automatically force a copy to the students. You need to have the Mote extension, and it says it right here on the first slide. You will need the Mote extension. And what the Mote extension does is allows the students to click this and record themselves performing this rhythm pattern and then inserting it. So it will have an audio icon that's purple. And then when they're done, they can submit it back to you, and you can listen to their audio files, which is great because, again, it's for retrieval or assessment. So that is our final episode of the Best of the Pandemic, LMU's Ed Tech Episode 7 Play-Along videos. These have been amazing, and I hope you jumped in to start playing some and making some for yourself as well. This blog that I'm showing you here is basically this YouTube episode written out. And it has more of the steps that show you how to do this in PowerPoint and Keynote. One final thing before I leave you. Again, every Sunday I'm going to be putting up an episode. Sometimes it's a lengthier one like this one, and sometimes it's just like, here's a tip that you maybe have already known or didn't know, just to use in your classroom or in something that you're doing to create a manipulative. And then, of course, I'll be throwing a play-along video up as well. Since October's coming, probably a Halloween one is coming soon, or a fall pumpkin one will be coming very soon. One last note, I am slowly weaning off amusetech.net. I will no longer be doing this blog. This blog is owned by Dr. Joe Pisano, and for the last 8 years he has let me just blog as much as or as least as I wanted, but this is Joe's blog. And now I have my own YouTube channel, and I now am trying to get the Teachers Pay Teachers store off the ground. I am going to actually put my blog on top of my website. So it's going to launch soon of LMU's Ed Tech. It will be a part of amymburns.com. And I'm going to take off some of my most recent articles off of musetech.net and just organize my blog over onto my website. So you're going to see musetech.net wean out from me, But you'll see me pop up actually a lot more with my YouTube channel, my website, and of course there's the Instagram page that I'm going to change from musetech.net to lmusedtech. And the Facebook page, I'm going to weed out there into lmused.tech. So when you're seeing lmused tech, lmused tech, that is going to be me. So musetech.net is going to go back to Joe, but lmused tech is going to be me. I even now have buy me some coffee because I love me some coffee. So buy me some coffee if you feel you want to just kind of support or, grab the book. But if you're loving the YouTube channel, buy me some coffee, please. Can always use some coffee. So I have attached it to the YouTube channel so you can now buy me a little bit of coffee if you ever want to. Well, I hope you're enjoying your school year, or if you're in the hemisphere where you are now after a break and coming into the last quarter of your school year, I hope it's going great. If you're in lockdown, use my YouTube videos and find my book. I promise I'm around. I'll help you out because I know in Australia you're in lockdown and I'm feeling for you right now. So use my resources, buy me some coffee, check out Midnight Music because I'm over there working for Katie and always in the community answering questions. I hope it's a great year. I saw this was a long video, but I wanted to end our series on a high note there, and I thought ending our series with the play-along videos was the most appropriate one. Catch you next week. Again, subscribe, follow, and have a great, great week.